Guys, Brian Zimmerman with CrossFit Jungle Gym back again. Now we're just discussing or continuing the discussion on gaining weight. We're just drawing out a template for your lifting schedule. So we talked about the three lifts that the three main lifts that you would want to be doing in order to gain weight, and then we just talked a little bit about some of the accessory work that we want to be doing. Anyways, we're just going to draw out a template here. What we're going to do is we're going to separate deadlift, bench and back squat day. So like the deadlift and the back squat are going to end up being very similar muscle groups, and what we want to do is try and spread those days out as evenly as we can across the week. So let's say on day one we're going to be doing deadlift. On day two we're going to be doing bench. Day three we're going to be doing back squat. And this totally depends on your schedule. So you may do this on a 6-day schedule where you have a rest day in between each one, or maybe you don't have a rest day between day 1 and day 2 and have 2 rest days after day 3. That's totally up to you, but we want to try and spread out day 1 and day 2, specifically when you cycle into your next day 1, and make sure we have enough rest going into the next deadlift day, so that we can give it another maximal effort. So start out with a simple template. We're trying to build some strength. We're just going to start out with a 3x5 on the deadlift. So that's not, oh hey, it's kind of easy, 3x5. That should be the first set of 5 is like, hey, that was heavy. The second set is like, man, that's heavy. The third set is like, oh my god, that was heavy. And then each week you're going to progress up a little bit more weight. So you say 5 to 10 pounds. Depending on how it felt the previous week, we're going to adapt and we're going to get stronger fast, especially if you're just starting a program. Okay? Now what we're going to do for our additional 3 lifts, we're going to do 3 exercises that would help build the strength in this lift. So for example, the deadlift, there's lower back, there's glutes, there's hamstrings, okay, and any core exercise that you could do is all going to help the deadlift. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and take movements that are going to help build the strength in those positions or in those areas so that we can continue to build on the deadlift. So let's just say, for example, we're going to have some glute ham raises, and we're going to have some lunges, and we're going to have sit-ups, weighted sit-ups. Okay, and those 3 exercises are there to supplement that. There's a whole long list of other movements that we could do that are going to help out the deadlift. Those are just 3 quick, easy ones. Okay, then we go to the bench press. Now the bench press, if you can consider how much weight you're going to be able to press in comparison to how much weight you're going to be able to deadlift, unless you're a crazy good bencher, okay, and a poor deadlifter, this weight is going to be significantly less than your deadlift. Okay? And what that means is your body is going to adapt accordingly. The deadlift is going to take a lot out of you because of how much load you can move. The bench press is going to be a little bit different. You're not going to be able to move quite as much weight, and you're going to be able to recover a little bit faster from that. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and add a little bit more volume to it, and we're going to do 5 sets of 5. Okay? During those 5 sets of 5, just like I was talking about in the deadlift, that weight should be heavy. It's not a light weight. It's not something you could do for 10. It's something you could do for 5 and probably not one more. Okay? Then we're going to pick out 3 accessory exercises. Okay? Depending on your style of training, some people like more traditional isometric training. We personally prefer more functional type movements. So what we're going to do is we're going to have two sets of max push-ups. And we like to do like 2 sets of max something that's related to tricep or pec, just to kind of burn those guys out after the heavy load and get some volume built in. Okay? Then we're also going to pick out another movement, let's say dips, where we're working those same pressing muscles, so again, pecs and triceps that are doing work, okay, but the load is significantly lighter than it is on the bench press. If you need to modify those, obviously that's okay. Okay? Another movement that we could do dips, and our third exercise could be shoulder press. So again, all our pressing exercises, which are going to work the shoulders and triceps in a similar way, but the different range of motion are going to work a little bit different muscle groups. What that's going to do is eliminate weakness in areas that may be weak, keeping us from bench pressing as much as we want, which is going to be holding us back from getting as strong as we want in the shoulders. Okay, so when we move to the back squat, it's going to be a little bit more similar to the bench press than it is the deadlift. The back squat, again, we're going to be able to lift a large load, but it's probably not going to be the same kind of weight as we can on our deadlift. So we're going to go 5 by 5 to start. Okay, and we're going to also pick out 3 accessory movements to go with that. Okay, so some accessory movements that we could do there. We could do back extensions. Okay, we could do pistols, which is a one-legged squat. And then we can also do, maybe say Zercher squats. Or another squat that we can't do with as much weight, or that we need to do in a little bit higher volume. Kettlebell swings would be another good one. We go back to some glute ham raises, and you'll notice that the deadlift accessories could basically be replaced by the squatting accessories, and vice versa. We can use those sort of in conjunction. So this is mostly a lower body hip movement, put together, pulling versus squatting. All right, so there's a general template for gaining some strength. If you're doing this in conjunction with the proper nutrition, it's also a good way to put on the lean body mass. See you guys next time.